Good evening. This is your roving reporter at Cape Kennedy, where a new moon rocket is about to be launched. Sitting a few feet away from me is the head of the space travel program, Dr. Irving von Glick. Dr. von Glick is giving final instructions to the astronauts who will make this historic flight and become the first men to land on the moon. Now let's go over now and hear what he's saying to them.
And so, gentlemen, I should like to congratulate you on the completion of your training. You're the first men to pass the strenuous physical and extremely intricate and complex mental tests that are necessary in order to travel to the moon. But now you are ready, and in exactly 8 minutes, you will be taking off for outer space. Now, are there any last-minute questions before you get into the rocket?
Good morning. My name is Alana. Our youth in the audience, thank you so much for being here. Wiseman, call name Tonto. I thought that was interesting. Anybody know what Tonto means? An engineer and a naval navigator. He was a pilot with Strike Fighter Squadron 103, Dwight E. Eisenhower, for 6 months in duration, and yay, Baltimore for him. He earned a degree from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. He is married.
And for the kids, maybe you can feel like you're floating there with me. I don't know if this is going to work. Oh, there we go. So just space station. So storms, the edge of the Earth, there's as Earthlings. And number on the internet, I think I was 535, and we're up to 538 now. But that's the number of people that have been folks. And then in my training, I used to fly the A380 from Houston over to Frankfurt to go visit ESA.
What is a rocket?
And coach. So when you really think about it, 2009, and this is my class, for the kids, I just wanted to put this up and kind of go through a few of these folks. I think it was 14 total. And if you really, a blonde girl there, Kate Rubens, Dr. Rubens, was doing Ebola research in the Congo when she got picked up. Jeanette Epps, she's worked at a lot of crazy places if you read her bio. It's really fascinating. CIA was the last place I think she worked. The guy in the center is a flight test engineer in the Air Force, myself, and then the guy on the lower right. The only thing we had was stuff that you would find in a Soyuz. So we had little chiclets, a couple crackers, some candy, some water, and then this tent that we built. And we go in the pool an awful lot. We have a huge pool down in Houston called the Neutral Buoyancy Lab. It's 40 feet deep, and that spacesuit that I'm wearing in that picture, I'm going to spend 6 hours underwater with no breaks. The only thing we have is water.
Televised? Yes. Well, it was opposite Queen for a day, so I don't suppose anybody saw it.
And I love this picture. This is in a Russian vacuum chamber, a Russian Sokol suit, which I'll wear in the Soyuz spacecraft when I launch and re-enter. And then a lot of time in the Soyuz trainer. And you can see there.
Why, certainly. Go right ahead.
Have you ever tried to send a rocket to the moon before?
Yes, I sent one up this morning.
What were the results?
Well, they were very gratifying. The ship reached a maximum speed of 27,000 miles per hour.
27,000 miles per hour. That's fantastic. And at what stage did it reach that speed?
Just before it crashed.
Everything is in Russian. Our manuals are in Russian, commercial airplane, and doing a series of parabolas, you get to learn how to float. And so remember the picture at the beginning I showed you of my classmates all standing there very formal. This was our first experience floating, and as you can see by the smiles on our faces, it's no fun whatsoever. They kind of give you the keys to your rocket once you've graduated your training and you're ready to fly. So this is my crew in front of the back end of our Soyuz spacecraft. You can see it's a lot of power. It's an awful lot of power. There you have Alex Gerst. He's a German volcanologist, a geophysicist, a PhD, and an extremely, extremely smart human being. After spending some time with Alex, I understand why you want to go buy a BMW or a Mercedes. I mean, he is the ultimate of German precision right there.
Out of your stomach. So birthing is where you get the air out of your stomach. Now, throwing up is some of the food that you've chewed up. So it's really messy.
And when you fly into space, you need somebody serious who is extremely gifted and intelligent, and that was our guy on our crew. I mean, Alex, he was a book of knowledge. He knows everything about everything.
Destination, space.
It was great to work with him. In the center there is Max Sarayev. He's a Russian. He was the commander of our Soyuz, and he is a great guy. We always said we were brothers from another mother, because rocket. Now imagine this, especially for the kids. You can see it's calm. It's just like driving your car down the road. You're just in a more uncomfortable flow. But it's 9.5 minutes. In that 9.5 minutes, from 0 to about 17,000 miles an hour. So if you can imagine your parents driving really crazy, That's what the ride is like. You get up to about 4.5 times Earth's gravity, so you're getting pushed back in your seat. And here is engine cutout. It's actually pretty dynamic when the engine stops. So that's 9.5 minutes after liftoff, and now we're in space. And this is great because you can see some raw human emotion of having survived ascent. And look at Max in the middle. He is so happy to be alive.
On July 16, 1969, a flight to the moon.
Bang, zoom.
This is Giraffity, one of my daughter's toys, floating there, and we had a GoPro in the cabin with us, and this is absolutely the first look outside. I mean, it's just amazing.
Lorraine, my density has brought me to you.
What?
Oh.
And in my time, just being a space lover, I had looked at pictures and video like this so many times that I was really worried when I got to space. Like, would it be like this? I mean, would it kind of just be, okay, that's pretty awesome. When you look outside with your own eyes and your own brain, and you get to assemble this whole picture, there is no video, there is no photograph you could ever look at that even comes within 10% of it.
What?
And the control team back on Earth. And there were some very, 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 very personal moments in some of the dialogues, and I was just cracking up because we had almost identical moments with our control teams. And I really thought that personal moments in some of the dialogues, and I was just cracking up because we had almost identical moments with our control teams. And I really thought that with our control teams, and I really thought that and to get to talk to you all. Thanks to the kids for being here and being patient, and I hope that was a good journey, and hope to see you all again real soon.
Let's give them a hand for this great presentation. Thank you.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy that. We cannot believe. Over.
And submerging again. 1 minute and 48 seconds. Would you believe it?
That's pretty hard to believe.
Would you believe 2 minutes and 48 seconds?
I don't think so.
What if some of the men were left on deck?
With our control teams, and I really...
Well, it only goes to prove that the Russians may make a better moon rocket, but we make a better mousetrap.
With our control teams, and I really...
I see. Well, just one more question.
You keep saying that.
I know this may sound like a silly question, but do you have any scientific evidence that the moon is actually made of cheese?
Nice looking group. Hey, listen, at least it's warm in here. Look at that.
Yeah, what about it?
It's a 5-pointed star.
Well, maybe the owners are from Texas.
How long have you been?
Does anyone really need $1 billion rocket?